So the dude steals the ball from me. Now, when I'm telling you his defense was solid, his defense was good. So the person that was sticking me, they definitely was applying the pressure. So boom, he steal the ball from me. He go up there, boom, lay it up. Now, it's a tight game. They winning by 4, though. They winning by 4. Now, I done kind of missed 2 shots, but I'm doing decent. So boom, I'm like, okay, I guess this ain't my game. So I'm hiking the ball off, whoop, passing it, boom. Team member, whoop, whoop. We got a few seconds on the clock. We finna go into halftime. I'm like, I already know. I'm going to pass it to Travis. Travis going to set himself up. So I look at Travis. I'm like, and he look at me. So I'm like, I go down, boom. I pass it off, boom. They pass it back to me. I got dude. Now, remember, I got dude on me. But I felt like, he was like, yeah, you ain't going to do nothing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to change the play. So I, boom, boom. Pull him to the side. Like, soon as I did that, they called on me. Offensive foul. All I did was 1-2 and kind of gently moved him out the way so I could make room for myself. I'm like, how is that an offensive foul? But before my temper got hot, I didn't say nothing. I looked and the coach was like, he gave me that look like, don't you do it. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. They get the ball back and they go down there and they score. And now we on halftime. So my coach, we go back there in the locker room. I'm like, Coach, I'm sorry. He like, what was the plan? I'm like, well, I was planning, well, the plan's supposed to be to give it to Travis. That was the plan. He like, so why you take the shot? I'm like, because, Coach, I feel like he up on me. He trying to show out. He like, okay, it ain't about showing out. This is team effort. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, team. So boom. So the coach is talking about the game plan and stuff like that. So now we get a little second to ourselves before the halftime end. So we goes and we like in a little slot area. So Brianna was over there with the rest of the cheerleaders. So she looking at me, she like, and so I look, I'm like, and I kept talking with the team members. Now, Brianna come walk over there and she like, I would tell you something, but you ain't my boyfriend, so I ain't gonna tell you. I'm like, what? She like, I would tell you something, but you ain't my boyfriend, so I ain't gonna tell you. I'm like, all right, whatever. So boom, we get ready to go back on the court. So we get ready, and I'm looking like, okay, am I getting back in on this quarter? Because he got me sitting on the bench. Like, I want to get back on the court. So I'm looking at Coach like, hey, Coach, you going to put me back in? He like, yeah, in the 4th. I'm like, Coach, I'm not going to play this whole quarter. He like, no. He like, just rest. I'm like, all right. So I'm just sitting there like this. I'm mad. I'm just sitting there like, so boom, the end of the 3rd comes, he put me in. That's just a few seconds there. So I'm like, I don't want to, Coach. He like, come on, get in the game. I got an attitude problem now. I'm like, I don't want to, Coach. He like, get in there. So I gone on here, boom. I get in, I get the ball, I pass it in. Now, as we shoot, we hit the score, the other team get the ball. Now, they're coming down, and the guy that I'm supposed to be sticking D, he got the ball. So I'm sticking D, and as he somehow, like, wrapped the ball around him, I happen to look. I see my mom and Brianna mom in the stands, like, sitting there. And my mom just looking at me like, and I was just so stunned. And I was just like this. The dude went where he scored. So I was still standing there. So the coach like, hey, come on. He like, get back on offense. Get back on offense. And I'm like, just looking. So we called timeout. He like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, Coach, my mom is here. He like, what? I'm like, my mom is here. I gotta go. He like, it's no, like, it really went nowhere out to get out the game because they lock you inside the gym until the game is over with. So I was like, I need to go. He like, there's no way to get out the game. He like, do you want to just sit this out? I'm like, yeah. He like, do you want to go in the locker room? I'm like, please, can I go? So I just grabbed my towel and I walked straight to the locker room. So now I'm panicking. Like, what I'm gonna do? So I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, it ain't no other way out. It ain't no other way out but the way you came in. It's 2 doors. One at one end, one at the other one. You got security guards, you got officers, because mind you, these are alternative schools playing ball, okay? So it's a lot going on, okay? So I'm like, what I'm gonna do? I'm panicking. So as I'm walking and I'm pacing back and forth, In the locker room, my mama comes back there. So I turn around. She say, I want to bop you right here. I want to bop you right here. I'm going to be waiting on you. I'm not leaving this gym room without you. You wanted to play with me. You play with me for the last time. Don't have that now. Carry on. Go on back out there on the team that you don't supposed to be on. I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm like, please. She like, you sorry? I'm going to show you. I'm finna have so much fun with you. Oh, it's finna be a party. We finna have some fun. We need to talk. Since you want to be grown, you want to smell yourself. You out in the streets doing what? So the coach comes back there like, hey, he like, I'm sorry, you can't be. She like, don't tell me why I can't be, because he shouldn't be on the team. What did I tell you, coach? I'll make sure I talk to the principal because I said he couldn't be on the team. Now, my mom is raising her voice. The game is going, okay? We have a game, an important game popping. So the coach, like, telling her to calm down. So now here come the cheerleading coach, like, hey, is everything okay? We hear you guys, out there. Now, mind you, it's people yelling, screaming. The game is going, but they can hear us too, yelling and screaming. So my mama like, I'm gonna wait. Oh, I'm gonna wait. And my mama walked off. So the coach like, you okay? I'm like, yeah. He like, if you want, you don't gotta leave right away. We'll wait until she leaves. She have to leave first. I'm like, she said she's not gonna leave until He like, no. He like, you're going to be able to leave. I'm like, okay, coach. I'm like, thank you. He like, you just stay right here. So now I'm just staying right there. So I'm like, man, I want to know if we win it. So I come like halfway out the locker room and I'm just like leaning over, just looking, like watching them play. So I kind of peek over, like look like that. I'm like, man, she was still sitting out there in the stands, just like, I'm talking about just waiting on it to end. Boom, it's a few seconds. It felt like time just was passing by fast. It's a few seconds, and it's very close. We losing by 2. So, boom, we happen to shoot and get a foul. They fouled us. So, I'm like, oh, my God. But the person that's going to be at this free throw ain't no good free throw. It's like they was worse than Shaquille O'Neal. So, I was like, oh, my God. Like, I'm hoping for a prayer because we need to win. If we lose, we knocked out. So, I'm like, oh, God, please, because we tied. So, he like, boom, boom. Do the little funny spin. I'm like, come on, just shoot the ball. So I'm looking. It hit the back of the rim. Boing! Come right off. Now it's overtime, right? Boom, we go into the locker. So I'm like, yo, good game. They like, what happened? Is everything okay? I'm like, man, my mom out there. They're like, your mom? They're like, oh, that's good. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, she made me nervous. They're like, she made you nervous? I'm like, yeah. Man, long story, I ran away. They're like, what? So I'm coming halfway, I come back out so I can see Brianna. So I go up to Brianna and say, so you knew my mama was coming? She like, yeah, but you ain't my boyfriend, so I ain't want to tell you. I'm like, why you keep doing me like that? I'm like, and you keep saying you like me. And she like, no, we not together no more, Roshan, so it's all good. She like, I was going to tell you that my mom saw you and she said that she was going to call your mom and I was going to give you the heads up. But when you told me you had a girlfriend, I wanted to make sure that I didn't be involved. I'm like, all right. I said, I got you. I'm like, just know that I'm in trouble now. I appreciate you. Thanks again. And so she like, yeah, whatever. She like, enjoy your girlfriend. So I walks back and now I'm mad because it's like, I want to put my hands on her. But I know how I'm going to get her. Just trust me. He who laughs first, laugh last. Oh, I'm going to get my lick back. Don't think you're going to keep on hitting me below the belt and think I'm going to just go on ahead and be chill with it. Boom. I'm like, all right, coach, I want to play. He like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I want to play. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show my mama I'm a good, I'm a good sport. You feel me? Like, I'm already in trouble. I'm going to go on ahead and eat it up. So he like, all right. He like, and if you need me, I'm here. I'm like, okay. I'm like, just keep your eye on my mama. He like, your mama is crazy. I'm like, I've been trying to tell everybody. So boom, it's time for us to go back out there. I look at her. She like, and I'm like, oh God. I'm like, I ain't gonna look at her no more. So boom, I throw the ball in. We ready to play. Now we playing hard. So dude, he tugging on me a little bit. I'm like, don't tug on me. I'm like, stop. So I'm, because I'm already got an attitude and I'm kind of trying to show out. But it's going for me now. Foop, I come with the layup. I'm like, yeah, let's go. So boom, dude run down. Now they doing quick, fast pace. They hurrying up and throwing it and shooting and scoring. They got their tallest player and he's shooting and scoring. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, Travis. I'm like, So now I'm going to redo this play over. So he back on me. He like, come on. I'm like, I'm finna go back on in the paint. He like, you ain't gonna make it. I'm like, watch me. So I just hurried up and I threw the ball around him, straight to Travis. Travis hurried up, got in the corner, smack up, 3. Talking about, all day, in the veins, 3. I'm like, yeah. He like, I thought you was gonna come in. I said, don't worry about my plan. He like, watch this. He like, I'm gonna give it right back, right? I'm like, come on, come on. So he comes up, he tried to pop a 3. Boom. It went around and came out. I'm like, oh, I'm like, you put too much spin on it. So now the ref like, hey, he telling us like, cut the chatter. Because you got to remember, we're in an alternative school. So 9 10, one of our tempers going to pop off because we're going to feel like, you know, one of us is better than somebody. So boom. I come down. He like, come on, won't you take it? Won't you take it? I'm like, I took some shots. I'm like, you want me to take them? So I'm going to pull up on you while I'm talking. I just hurried up, swish. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let's go. So the cheerleaders, they cheerleading. I'm like, I go and high-five the cheerleaders, you know what I'm saying? Brianna did not high-five me, and it was cool, because when I got down to her, it was like pop, 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 pop. As soon as I got down to her, she was like, I'm like, straight like that. Got back on the court, got back on the scene. Boom. We end up winning by 1 point. So my mama like, loud. My mama lift, it said, my mama lift up. She said, Roshan, let's go. Truck. Now. So I'm like, I got to get my stuff now. So the coach like, hey, you got to wait out there, ma'am. All the parents got to wait out there for the players. She say, coach, this my player. Let's go. Come on, let's roll. I'm like, wait, mom. I'm like, I'm coming. I'm like, she said, who you think you're talking to? So the security guard come and say, is everything fine? Then my mama say, did anybody call you? And so the coach was like, can you please take this parent out here? She like, this parent? He like, come on, ma'am, let's talk. She say, Roshan, you know what? You embarrassing me and you showing out. She say, you know what? I'm going to be right outside this door waiting on you. I'm like, okay, mom. She like, okay, mom. So the security guard like, come on, let's go talk. So the coach like, is you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, coach, I need to get out of here. I'm like, how can I get out? He like, well, we can get you out the side door. Now, mind you, it's only 2 doors. So I'm like, okay. So he like, look, we're going to let everybody go. And he like, you stay right here. He like, and I'm going to flag you when they come in. I'm going to keep my eye on your mama. I'm like, okay. He like, but if your mama come on the other side, he like, I would start talking to her loudly and you could just go out the other way. I'm like, okay, coach. And so the cheerleading coach was like, well, you know what? I'll go and go talk to her and keep my eye on her, and you can go on ahead and get Rashawn out. I'm like, thank you so much. I'm like, I appreciate it. He like, and I'll make sure I talk to the principal because she shouldn't be able to, which is true, come and act like that inside no school. So I'm like, okay. So he like, you ready? I'm like, I'm ready. He like, get all your stuff. So I get my stuff. I get my belongings. Now, I'm out on the side. I'm out there. But all I need to do is just hit that dip. And there's a lot of people in the hallway. So it's kind of hard to really peep out who. But I do see the girl with the scar. So I was kind of trying to peep for Brianna because I feel like you against me. I can't trust you. I smell her. I smell her. I can't trust you coming on. You feel me? So the coach, he like, you ready? He said, all you got to do is just break down and go out that exit. I'm like, okay, coach. He like, 1, 2. I'm like, 3. He like, go. And I hurried up and I broke running. Right? So obviously my mama didn't see me because clearly she would have said my name. So boom, I gets on the bus. I'm scared. All right. My phone, ling, 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 ling. I'm like, hello? It's the register girl. She said, where you at? I'm like, oh, I forgot you was going to pick me up. I'm like, I told you I was going to get on the bus. She said, nah, I told you I was picking you up. I'm like, I'm already on the bus, though. I'm like, my mama came up to the school, so I had to hurry up and get out of there. So she like, okay. She like, well, I'll meet you at my house. I'm like, all right, cool. So I hang up. So I stopped. I stopped a little bit before I got to my house, like some blocks down. So it was like a little mall, like a small little mall. And I goes inside the mall. I had some money on me because I've been working. And I had got my own phone. I got my own phone. Boom. I had got it set up and everything. As I get my stuff set up, I'm walking. Now, I got a nice long walk. So as I'm walking, I see Roy. But Roy don't see me.